What's going on, guys? So in front of you, you are looking at the all-new 2023 Chevy Colorado four-wheel drive Trail Boss. Now, this is a crew cab, mid-size pickup truck, super good looking truck. I mean, if you're looking for a mid-size truck, this is arguably one of the best looking pickup trucks I think you can buy right now, which is a far cry from the previous outgoing version of the Colorado. I think the outgoing version lasted way too long, and it's kind of a vanilla, interestingly not really unique body style, if you guys know what I mean. This Colorado is a huge departure from that, and I know you've seen these at auto shows and some of the other things going on around the country, and you know, all the different places that have showcased these. But once you get your hands on one of these, you can definitely see the appeal. This is actually really nice. Let's go over some of the information on this truck. Hang tight, I'll be right back. All right, first let's talk about the numbers on this thing. So the 2.7 liter turbocharged engine that comes in this truck has 391 pound-feet of torque and 310 horsepower. That's pretty dang impressive for a four-cylinder 2.7 liter turbocharged engine. This truck carries an MSRP of $41,055. So it's definitely not what I would consider to be an extremely expensive pickup truck, considering, you know, the economic times we're in, where your typical half-ton truck is going to be over $50,000. That said, you know, this is going to have a lot of really cool features. When we look at fuel economy, it's going to get 17 in the city, 21 on the highway, the average between the two, 19 miles per gallon. It's not what I would consider to be the very best in terms of fuel economy, but it's pretty good, especially considering the power this puts out. So let's quickly start from the front, kind of work our way around this truck. So again, this is a Trail Boss package. You can see the really nice matte black front grille, black Chevy emblem, Trail Boss emblem right there as well. There are no fog lights on this truck, which is kind of interesting. I kind of would have preferred at least fog lights embedded in the bumper on this truck. You can see it has standard incandescent or halogen headlights on it. You have some really nice little vent deflectors going in as well. The wheel and tire package on this truck really make it stand out. Those black wheels, Goodyear Wrangler tires, give it a really nice aggressive overall look to it as well. Front independent suspension. Got your Colorado badging going down the side. This is a crew cab truck, so this is going to be the longest cab configuration you can get this truck in. Coming around the back, leaf sprung suspension. This does have an E-coated frame, so unlike its larger cousins, the 1500 as well as the 2500 plus heavy duty trucks that have the wax coated or Knox coated frame, this truck has an E-coated frame. You can see it has standard incandescent tail lights on it as well. No parking sensors, has a 2.5-inch receiver. It is equipped with a 7-way connector as well as a 4-way connector above for your smaller trailers. It does not have a power drop tailgate, but it does have a nice slow opening tailgate. And it is assisted, so whenever you lift it up, it's just really lightweight feeling. Really cool feature, I have to admit, is pretty ingenious, is in the tailgate storage. Check that out. So you actually have storage within the tailgate itself. Very cool. Not a place where you'd want to put things if you have stuff on the tailgate. So if you're going to be loading up like an ATV, or you're going to have lumber stuff back here and you need to get into something in here, you won't be able to do it until you get everything off of the bed. It has really cool spots for dividers in here as well. So if you need to divide up different things in here, you have that space as well. Looks like a drain plug also. So I'm guessing you could probably put ice and stuff in here. If you want to keep it cool, then lift the tailgate up and it will drain out the bottom. Very innovative. Spray-in bed liner as well. Got all sorts of attachment points if you need to secure things in the bed. Very easy to lift up tailgate. You have your corner steps down here as well. All right, so I'm going to show you the back seat first, because I have two children's seats in here, or two child seats in here currently. And with the front seats in our normal seated position, you have just enough room for them to sit comfortably back here. If I move the seat much further back, you'd probably have limited space. For really tall adults, it's going to be pretty cramped back here. But for your average kids, teenagers, I don't think you'd have any problem finding a comfortable position for everyone on board. And then no center console here. Really wish they had a center console with some cup holders. You do get some cup holders here. I love the fact that you get rear air conditioning vents, but I don't see a spot to charge anything in here. Now, I don't know if the higher trim vehicles come with that, because they may. You have several higher trims that you can get this truck in, which may obviously give you more luxury amenities here in the back seat as well. Of course, you get your power windows. Very basic materials for this truck. It almost has kind of a semi-work truck interior to it. Definitely doesn't feel as luxurious as your higher trim trucks. Has plastics right here, but they have kind of a softer texture to them. This is all plastic material, no soft touch materials up here. Again, your higher trim vehicles may have that. You can see where there's a definition line between this portion right here and this portion right here, and perhaps on some of your other trims they may give you that, but this one doesn't. This has cloth interior, has a manual front passenger seat and a power front driver seat. You have a flip-up glove box here with some nice deep storage below. Parking brake, 2 cup holders here. This is going to be your, well, this is going to be your 4-wheel drive controls, USB, USB-C, and then you have a few controls here. So you have your ability to turn off the auto engine start-stop, hazard lights, and then your lane departure. Air conditioning vents are placed very well, and they have this really cool kind of circular style vent where you can get air pretty much anywhere you want it. Huge screens. Below the screen are your air conditioning controls, as well as your screen on and off, and your AC controls right there. This, of course, is going to have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so you can project anything you want onto those screens. And your main gauge cluster up here is also going to be full LCD display as well. No sunroof in this. Not a big deal for me, but some people may prefer it. But yeah, overall, this is what the truck looks like. What do you guys think? All right, moving our way over to the driver's side, you can see you have the driver front seat right here. Power windows, power door locks. You have power mirrors as well. Right here are your instrument cluster lights, so you can dim them or make them brighter. Your cargo capacity on this, pretty dang high, 1,507 pounds. Considering our Denali half-ton truck has a 1,488 pound maximum cargo capacity, this truck actually can hold more cargo. Part of the reason behind that is because this is a relatively low trim vehicle, so it doesn't have leather interior, it doesn't have a lot of the luxury amenities that add weight to a half-ton truck or other trucks that have those luxury features added to them. And that's really the same with pretty much any half-ton truck. If you get a super high luxury package, you're going to have a pretty dang low cargo capacity. But 1,500 pounds of cargo capacity on this truck is definitely impressive. All right, let's hop inside real quick. Okay, push button start right here. Though this truck does not have remote start. So you can see your gauge cluster right here. It looks to be maybe an 8-inch display. Kind of interesting because they squeeze a lot of information into a relatively small screen. It would have been cool to see a similar gauge cluster that you see on the higher trim trucks where it spans the entire width of this area. But yeah, it takes up a much smaller area, and they put a lot of information here, and I'm sure you can cycle through all this information and maybe customize the screen. But they put everything you need to know. It's just on a relatively small screen. You have a huge screen right here. So this screen is very impressive. Gives you a lot of information. This vehicle has navigation. It's going to have trailering capabilities. There's no integrated trailer brake controller in here, so you're definitely going to want to be sure you stay under what the maximum tow capacity of this truck is. But it's very similar to the infotainment system that's on the Denali. Like very, very similar. A lot of the same features. Camera, you only have a reverse camera. And then you have a trailering cam if you add it, plus you have your hitch cam if you want to look down at the ball itself. Nice high resolution screen. Again, the air conditioning vents are placed really well. I can already tell a lot of air is getting on me. But it'd be interesting to see this truck in a higher trim package, basically one that's made to compete more against like your half-ton luxury trims. This is definitely more of an off-road package. It would have also been nice to see this with the 360-degree camera, mainly because, you know, whenever you have an off-road package like this, it's always good to have situational awareness of what's going on around the vehicle. Your steering wheel is nicely laid out, actually. A very, very different steering wheel than what you get on the half-ton trucks. Overall, really cool truck. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. Is this a truck you could see yourself in? That's the ultimate question. So kind of the takeaway from this video is for $41,000, you know, you get a pretty nice truck. If you got a half-ton truck with all the same features, all the same amenities, you definitely would be spending more than that. So to get a four-wheel drive crew cab truck in a more compact mid-sized truck form factor for 41 grand with this type of aggressive look, stance, features, I think is a pretty reasonable bargain to ask for. We're not in the economic times we were in 20 years ago where trucks were insanely low price for what you got. But I can definitely say that, you know, even comparatively speaking 10 years ago, this is a relatively good value. You get a lot for the money. That said though, if you want something in a more compact form factor, this is also a really, really great truck to look at. One of the things I love about this truck is the fact that I can actually reach into the bed and I can almost reach to the center of the bed if I needed to grab something, which makes it a really useful vehicle if you're going to be using the truck for, you know, everyday errands and you actually want to have a truck you can reach into. Now this truck does sit kind of tall because it is a Trail Boss package. So it sits a bit taller than, you know, if you had a non-Trail Boss, if you had a standard package truck, which means it would even be easier to access in a vehicle that wasn't this tall. That said though, what do you guys think? Please leave a comment below. Would this truck fit the needs of most folks looking for a smaller pickup truck? That's probably the best question. Even if you're going to do some mild towing, this might be a good truck for you to consider. Now, the maximum towing capacity of the new Colorado is 7,700 pounds, which is pretty dang impressive. I don't know if this specific truck has that max towing capacity. I don't believe it does, but it may. They don't put the trailering sticker on the midsize truck, and that's unfortunate because that trailering sticker provides such good information for folks who really need to know what their truck's capable of doing from a towing perspective, a payload perspective, a trailering perspective, and it would be cool if they just universally put that on all trucks, even their midsize trucks. But if this truck does approach 7,700 pounds worth of towing, that's a lot of capability. I wouldn't put that much behind it personally. I think that's way too much for a smaller truck like this. But you know, my small gray compact cargo trailer would be perfect to tow behind something like this, because even totally maxed out, you're at 3,000 pounds. You don't need the trailer brake controller that this truck doesn't have. So you'd be able to handle something like that very, very effectively with the truck's brakes alone. But again, what do you guys think? Leave a comment below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this truck. Guys, we're going to have more videos on this truck. Definitely take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very soon.